The new Camry just came out. I drove it about a week ago, and I really only have amazing things to say about it. But about a year ago, I made a comparison video of the then new Accord, especially the hybrid version, compared to the Camry. And it was actually a closer race than it should have been. Now that we have an all new Camry fully hybrid, should you consider the new Accord or should you just get the new Camry? Today, we're going to break it down. As you can see, I have the Accord on top, I have the Camry on the bottom. We're going to do our best to sift through the trim levels, packages, pricing, and what's a better car overall. I'm going to tell you. Grab your snacks and drinks, buckle in, and let's get into it. Can you believe Honda has 6 trim levels of the Accord, starting with the LX and EX? Now, these LX and EX trims are the non-hybrid models. And when I drove them, gosh, what was it, a year and a half ago? I couldn't recommend them. The CVT on it is super droney. The LX had a plastic steering wheel. It was just not good enough in my opinion. And the hybrid powertrain was great. It's still in some ways more quiet than Toyota's, but the new 5th generation hybrid system is so good that if the money is the same, I'd probably be going with the Camry. So the LE, let's compare the LE Camry here to the LX and EX Accord. It's an easy win for the Camry. You have more power. I want to say these are around 190 horsepower on the Accord. So you have 225 horsepower. If you need all-wheel drive, it's about $1,500 more. You can get it on the base LE and also an additional 7 horsepower, so 232 horsepower. The LX and EX Accords are dead because the base price here on the LE is $28,400. Watch my review on the base LE. Now, the model I drove had the optional winter package, which had the heated seats, as well as a heated steering wheel, which you cannot get on the LX and EX. You might not even be able to get heated steering wheel on any of these other models of the Accord until you get the Touring Hybrid, if I remember correctly. It could be wrong. So the LE here is definitely like a de facto instant pick over LX or EX Accord. Now, the Sport Hybrid matches up really well against the SE. And when you package them out, if you want the SE to have the same features as the Accord Hybrid here, they actually cost about the same, about $34,000. So the Sport Hybrid here comes with slightly larger wheels. This has 18-inch wheels, where this has 19-inch wheels. You have a 12-inch touchscreen, which is optional down here. It's a $700 option on the SE, but you can save $700 if you don't want it. You also have wireless charger standard across the Camry lineup. You have better fuel economy. Check this out, 47 miles per gallon. This Camry SE also has 21 more horsepower if you want the front wheel drive, and also the optional all-wheel drive with 232 horsepower. So essentially what Toyota does is they give you the option to package the sunroof, package the heated seats, package the larger screen. This is a huge win for Toyota here. To my knowledge, only the EXL and the Touring have rear vents and rear USBs. I believe the Sport L, the Sport, the EX and LX don't even have rear vents. That is unacceptable. That might be okay on something like a Civic or an HR-V, but this being the more expensive sedan in the lineup, it absolutely has to have rear vents across the lineup. The base LE here for the Camry has rear vents and a USB-A and a USB-C for the back passengers. So there's little things like that the Camry excels on that the Accord is just whiffing. When you're buying a brand new sedan, you want it to look the part. So we're going to compare design here between the two models. So we have the Sport model of the Accord up top, again, hybrid, 204 horsepower, and then the Camry down here. Again, once you equip them about the same, they cost about the same, but the Camry, like I said, has the rear air vents. It has better looks, as we're going to break down right here, and it has more horsepower and better efficiency. Okay, so 18-inch wheels here on the Camry SE, they look better than these 19s on the Accord. The overall aesthetics from the front here, even though this doesn't have the super fancy daytime running lights and turn signals that the XSE and the XLE models do have, the front end here still looks a million times better than the Accord. Now, the Accord does have better headlights here, full LED daytime running lights, for example, and we don't have that here on the Accord. But that to me doesn't matter because the rest of the front end here with the new hammerhead design looks so much better on the Camry than it does on the sleepy looking Accord. The Accord looks like a Taurus kind of from the 90s. Some people say it looks like a Malibu or something as well, or an Impala. I just, regardless of what it looks like, there's nothing inspiring about the front end design of the Accord. And it gets worse because on the Touring, they paint these silver and it doesn't help the looks of it. The SE has these sporty canards right here. And the SE also, in my opinion, save for the front headlights, it looks better than the XSE because the XSE will paint match this whole front area and it's just too much paint, okay? I like the contrast here that we have with this matte black grille as well as the functional air vents here on the side. Now, these are functional too on the Accord, but the front on the Camry is a win. The wheels on the Camry is also a win. We have paint match side mirrors, which in my opinion look pretty good too. Now, let's go ahead and look at maybe the side profile here between the two. Now, I don't have a perfect full-on side image of the Camry. This is as good as it gets. They both have a strong line that cuts through the top portion of the vehicle. The Camry's, in my opinion, looks better. Now, this is a sport model for the Accord, and we have silver window surround, which does not look very good. And the roof line, the vehicle, the Accord is just so long looking, and there's nothing sporty about it from the side other than the huge wheels that it has. The Camry looks so much better. It has so much more motion to it. We have this large wheel arch over the rear wheel, which is similar to what we see on a Lexus RX, for example. And it just, I mean, if you look at the bottom, we have a paint matched side skirt here where it's all blacked out here on the Accord. It definitely looks more premium on the Camry. Let's go ahead and look at the back. And this is maybe the one win for the Accord. The rear taillights of the new Accord look pretty good and they're fully LED. Here on the Camry, they kind of went the lobster claw route. And well, here's just a reminder, right? You can have all-wheel drive on the Camry. And that's something when the Accord didn't have all-wheel drive, I knew it was going to be a huge miss. So I knew Toyota would be bringing that all-wheel drive system here. We have the Camry lettering here across the lid here, but the XSE and the XLE have LED turn signals, and you're just going to have incandescent bulbs here on the SE model. We have a dual tip exhaust here, which looks way sportier than the sport model Accord. So even though the taillights, yes, they're full LED on the Honda, the rear end still looks better. I thought I was gonna go more with the Accord here, but dual tip exhaust, blacked out Camry lettering, and just the overall like lobster claws. I mean, the Accord used to have lobster claws. I'm not saying they can look good or bad. The Camrys look pretty decent here, and there's just a lot more sportiness on the Camry's rear end than we have on the Accord. So overall design on the exterior, it's not even close. The new Camry looks a lot better. If you disagree, let me know down below. If you agree, if you think the new Camry looks better in just about every single regard than the new Accord, also let me know down below. Now we're going to compare the interior real quick. I'm not going to compare every single grade. We don't have time for that, just like we didn't have time for comparing every single grade on the exterior. Just compared Sport to SE. Now the interior here, this is the gray interior that you can get on Accord. I think this is the Accord Touring here. And then down below, this is the XSE. So in terms of equipment, they're going to be about the same. The red that you can get in the Camry, you're either gonna love it or gonna hate it. To me, if I was getting the XSE, I would get the black with the blue accents. There's just too much red for me in here. But let's get into the technology, the ergonomics, and then we'll break it down. All right, first of all, I mean, I see these shiny pedals at the bottom look a whole lot nicer than these cheap Accord pedals. They both have a traditional shifter here, but the Camry one looks a little bit more meatier, a little bit more substantial. They both have the drive modes right below, and then they also have their EV mode or hybrid modes as well. All right, so very similar. To the right, we both have cup holders. Now, Honda has the wireless charger to the side here. It's kind of recessed. Toyota has more functional space. You have the wireless charger, which is standard across all grades. It sits right here in front of the shifter on a rubber platform. And then you have this recessed area here for additional storage. So I think the Toyota wins just slightly for functionality. Now we have 2 USB-Cs here. For the Honda, you have 3 USBs total. For the Toyota, 2 USB-Cs, 1 USB-A. Now, as we move our way up, Honda's triple knob action is hard to beat. In terms of aesthetics as well as functions, it's there and it's very impressive. Now, they both have heated and ventilated seats here. These are the top specs. You're going to have heated steering wheel on the Toyota, right? It's right here. For the Honda, I don't even know. I don't even see it on here. We both have memory seats on these cars. The Honda you might have to install that at the dealership. It's a weird Honda thing, their heated steering wheels, but you can even get that on the base LE, a heated steering wheel on the Camry. All right, so the vents here are below the climate control on the Camry, where they're above the climate control here on the Accord. So in theory, air direction is just a tad bit better on the Accord than it is the Camry due to the higher vents. The lower vents here seemingly has helped Toyota keep the screen low. Look how the screen on the Camry is very low. It goes maybe to about this area on the steering wheel. I know it's apples to oranges, but the screen here almost goes to the very top of the steering wheel. Now, I know the camera angles probably aren't identical, but they're awfully close. The Camry's screen sits lower. They're both 12-inch screens. And so that means it's closer to the driver. You can see here it's recessed into the dash. You also have the world's smallest volume knob here. It's kind of in a weird spot. But the Toyota screen, I think, is getting the nod. Now, across every single grade on the Camry, you're also going to have Sirius XM. The Accord, the only way you can get it is on the top touring trim, which is a strange thing in my opinion. Honda says, well, you can just use your Sirius XM app if you want Sirius XM from your phone. I guess, but man, is it a lot easier when it's baked into the car's system. So Toyota gets a nod, I think, overall with functionality. I could compare the steering wheels. They're very similar with the buttons. Toyota has some more buttons, so you can customize the screen back here a little bit easier. So Toyota definitely has, with the 12-inch screen, I think this is a 10-inch screen back here. Toyota has more customization than the Honda, definitely with this larger screen in the back. And before the new Camry came out, the new Accord's interior absolutely blew away the Camry. Now the interior, I guess aesthetically, might go for the Honda, but in terms of ergonomics, it might go for the Toyota. Now, I do really love the knobs here. So it's just a coin flip, honestly. Do you like the red interior? Do you like the layout? I would be happy living in either of these cabins. They're both fantastic, very comfortable, and very ergonomic overall. And it's just a coin flip. So just a basic spreadsheet here. I even threw the Hyundai Sonata hybrid in there. That's the closest competitor. It's the only other sedan of this segment that has a hybrid. The Toyota undercuts them in price. It undercuts them or overachieves in terms of fuel economy. It has optional all-wheel drive. It has an equal, if not better, interior than its competitors. It has a superior exterior design now. It has more horsepower and acceleration. The new Camry is the king of the segment. Now, we don't have the V6. We don't have high power options, not yet anyways. Toyota could bring the 2.4 turbo with a 6-speed automatic hybrid with 340 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque, but that significantly increases the weight of the vehicle. And that's something, okay, I haven't even mentioned this. The new Camry outhandles the new Accord. That shouldn't happen. Honda's bread and butter is fun to drive. The Accord is okay to drive, but the Camry is more responsive. When you put the pedal down, Toyota's ECVT, boom, it just goes. And now you have this new 5th gen hybrid system for Toyota that is first employed here in the Camry with smaller, more compact motors. That's also smoother. Those motors are now more powerful. And so you get more instant torque than the outgoing Camrys, which already had better response than the Accord. When you hit the gas on the Accord, if you're already up to speed, you're waiting. And to me, it's a safety issue. Is it smooth? Yes, all of these are smooth, but the Camry wins in performance in terms of acceleration and wins in fuel economy, or now rivals Honda in terms of smoothness. That's where the Accord has kind of, and Honda's powertrains, they're incredibly smooth. You hardly ever know there's a gasoline engine in there. The Camry, you still know, but at least you get additional power with up to 232 horsepower. Yeah, with the Camry's new handling, all the things I mentioned before as well, styling, it's the full package. It's honestly, the new Camry blew me away. And I was not expecting that. I didn't think Toyota's hybrid system could get much better in terms of, I guess, smoothness, but it absolutely did with this 5th gen system on the 2.5 liter. Now, I've driven the 5th gen hybrid, let's say with the Corolla as well as the Prius and the Corolla Cross. Those have 5th gen hybrid systems, but they have smaller engines. The 2.5 liter now, 5th gen, is chef's kiss. It's butter smooth. It's more smooth than the Lexus RX and NX hybrids that are on the 4th gen hybrid system. Toyota has a problem on their hands because it is now pretty much better than all of its competition at a lower price point. Or should I say equal to lower price point, but now you have the option of all-wheel drive, etc. All I can say here is Toyota has a very good product on their hand. And this is just the beginning, because the SUV version of the Camry, which is essentially the RAV4, it's coming and it's going to be hungry. It's going to be trying to pull away and step into that spotlight that the CR-V hybrid has kind of stolen a little bit, that the Santa Fe hybrid now has with the cool boxy design. I can't wait to see what the RAV4 does when we'll revisit, have a same sort of video just like this maybe a year from now. I wish I had bad things to say about the Camry. I guess no V6, no high powertrain options, but I really don't have bad things to say about the lineup. The LE blew me away with how well it handled the good performance, the efficiency, and how well it was appointed on the inside, even though it was a base model. And then all the way up to the XSE, it's a little bit more bumpy of a ride, but definitely slightly better handling and a little bit more responsive with those 19-inch wheels. I got to shut it down there. I probably sound like a Toyota shill right now. If you're in the market, definitely cross drive these models. But the new Camry is an absolute home run. And I wish I had really bad things to say about it so I just don't sound like an idiot. Toyota did it. They hit it out of the park. And now the ball's at everyone else's court. How much can they make their products that much better to keep up to the Camry? I don't know. I know I'm ranting, but I got to mention this. Some of you guys were saying, hey, should I just get a used ES300 or the new Camry? The new Camry's powertrain is a lot better than the ES300, even a 2023 or 2024 model ES300. It's a lot smoother and a lot more potent with the electric motors, and it's more efficient. The ES will win in terms of interior amenities and like interior quality overall, but I like the minimalism that we have on the Camry, especially in the LE and SE models. I just like how well equipped and well executed the LE and the SE are. And the XSE and the XLE are going to be good options for you guys who want the panel roof and the head-up display and ventilated seats and all that stuff. But cloth seats on the LE, I think that's an absolute like bargain buy. That's pretty much way better than the competition at any trim level. I got to shut it down. Thank you guys for watching. Long live the Camry, long live the sedan, and I hope the Accord, the Sonata with the next generations, I know we could be a long ways from that. They step up their game, but in the meantime, the Camry is the king, the mid-size sedan segment. There's not really a large size sedan segment anymore in the US. So Camry's the king in terms of volume, in terms of execution, powertrain efficiency, etc. Toyota's done it. It's probably their best product I've reviewed from Toyota in a long, long time. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a good day and peace out.